And I began by asking her about the importance of strong female leads in the series.
Yes, partly it was to reflect what was happening in Denmark, but it was also the desire to do something different. They're all big fans of The West Wing, and I think they wanted to turn the whole thing around.
We have a very strong female representation in Scotland in politics, a female Deputy First Minister, female party leaders. Do you want to see your character as a role model for women in politics or women wanting to go into politics? In fact, it was funny, your character said in one of the episodes last night she didn't want to be a role model.
Well, I don't think she feels like a role model, and I definitely didn't want to represent her as one. It's a particular woman in politics, and I think that the whole show is showing someone who is discovering her way into politics more than it's particularly a gender issue.
And she does face a lot of gender issues, though, I mean, particularly in the last couple of episodes that were on last night.
Exactly, but I think that's what I really liked about the big story, that it's only at the end we have sort of referred to it, whereas for the previous 18 episodes it's just been this Prime Minister trying to do her best.
Yes, exactly. You were trying to be the Prime Minister, and gender wasn't really an issue, I suppose, in the final episode. I mean, how would you describe your character, do you think?
Well, she's primarily an idealist, and I think that sort of that aspect of politicians have been sort of not mentioned so much in these last years. It's interesting to show where the desire to do politics come from, and I think she's sort of encapsulates that.
But she still has to cope with the realpolitik, doesn't she? The really tough decisions that all politicians have to take.
Absolutely.
Now, the show has travelled extremely well. It's a huge success here in Scotland. What do you think is the Scandinavian secret?
Well, I think we're a dark horse. It's so unexpected that anything should come from our end of the world. So, and I think there's a lot of sympathy towards dark horses, like when a small African country won the World Cup, you know, and we're very much grateful for the whole passage that The Killing has done, the crime series from Denmark that sort of paved the way for us.
And there's The Bridge as well, of course. It's amazing that how these smaller countries have produced such huge successes.
But then again, I think it's the unexpected, that when the first people who sort of tuned in on watching a Scandinavian TV series, it was like finding a treasure, I suppose. You know, it's really everything that's not from America is sort of exotic, isn't it, TV wise? So I think that, you know, because it's very much word to mouth, sort of the way the whole thing has started, with being first cult and then opening up a little bit more, and I think that makes for more how do you say it, you become very loyal to it if you feel that you're part of discovering this.
Yes, you're right. It was a treasure that people kind of discovered, actually. It was on BBC4, a more a minority channel in a way. Were you prepared for the level of international recognition that you received? When we said in the office that we were doing this, men wanted to meet you and all the women say how they admire you.
No, it was completely unexpected, completely. And even because The Killing and previous TV shows have been very popular in Denmark, this was the risky show to put on, to politics and so even in Denmark we were prepared to go down viewer-wise, and but never. I mean, there's no international money in the production or anything. Nobody thought it would travel at all.
Now, the second series closed last night here in the UK, but in Denmark you're halfway through the third series. Any hints you can give us about the third series?
I'm not allowed to say very much, but it's been from what we saw when it ended last night. There's been 2.5 years has gone by, and all the main characters are in different positions. That much I can say.
And I think there may be a British character in the third series.
There may be, that's true.
And finally, we see a lot of the Christiansborg Palace in Copenhagen. Did you use a lot of these real locations, real political locations?
No, we used exteriors, and we were not allowed to go inside, and for good reason, I think. So the whole inside my office and everything is made of sets.
And just to confirm, it's probably the third and the final series.
Absolutely, that will be the final.
It's a bit sad, isn't it?
It's a bit sad, but I think it's great to end it when it's on its high.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tack för vilket in vårt program.
Once again? It was good.
It's my Danish. Thank you for being in our program.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Tack. Hej hej.
Hi.